Hello and welcome to another update video about Avex. Avex also, it's been over a week that I updated Avex, so I guess it's time for another update. Just to summarize Avex here, got my problems with this Avex chart, absolutely from a structural point of view. I've got my problems. Overall here, however, we can count this bullish, which means we would count all of this price action here as a wave 1 and a wave 2. And what has happened here now also as a wave 1 and a wave 2, which means we've seen two 1-2 patterns. Each of them has retraced quite strongly, which is normal for a wave 2, which also would mean that next we should see a rocket start in a bullish scenario. Looking overall at the chart though, I am not too excited about Avex. The chart looks still, despite the fact that we can count it as corrective, there are just a few things that I absolutely dislike about this chart, like this weird expanding leading diagonal in a wave 1. This is how you would need to make it work to count it as an sort of a motive wave to the upside as a wave 1. I've got my problems with that, because you can very easily count this corrective, which would mean we are here in an impulse down, which would mean that in an ideal case we would go below the low, well below $1. Okay, we would go below $1, and that, to be honest, is probably even not bad for the chart. But then coming down from below $1 to previous all-time highs will be a little bit of a challenge, to say it like that. Yeah, so it will be a bit of a challenge. However, of course, at the moment we are holding, and in a bullish scenario, which would count this as a 1-2, 1-2, we would now assume that we are actually quite close to the low. Yeah, so we have to distinguish between the bullish scenario here, where we can probably turn around now at any point in time. Maybe we already turned around and we're going to take a look at that, or in the bearish scenario where we could even go below $1. Now, how do we take it from there? Well, for me, it means I'm not going to touch Avex at the moment, because Avex, the chart itself, even the higher level one that you can see here, can be counted very easily as a corrective wave. All of this as an A, B, C, and then the impulse is coming down. Therefore, there are just, for me, other charts that I cannot count that easily as corrective, and therefore I will rather invest in them, not into Avex, which could collapse like some other cryptos have done before. That is not looking at it fundamentally, but it means that if there is a fundamental factor, yeah, that meets a chart that looks like this, it could very easily collapse, as we've seen it with Luna. Okay, so what has happened since the low? So from a bullish point of view, we could say yes, we counted 5 waves as complete, and we could now be in some kind of a beginning of an uptrend, especially as we took out the previous swing high here, and we're now retesting it. This is now exactly where it will be decided, in my opinion. Exactly at this point, at $18.70. So you're basically moving up here in what possibly was a first wave to the upside. Yeah, let's say this is a wave 1, this then a wave 2. But then we also have to say that we moved up in another impulse here. This was not a wave 3, absolutely not, was not long enough. Maybe you could count it as a wave 3 here, but then again the wave 4 was quite strong, so I would rather count it as another wave 1, okay, and this here as a wave 2 again. So 2 1-2 patterns, but we are now ideally holding this previous support. This would be bullish. From here we could then start to the upside, take out the next swing high at $22, and move all the way up to the 88.7% fib level at $25. That would be bullish. If we go much lower, we definitely should avoid to go below $15 or below $16. If we go below $16, this will not be a wave 1 and a wave 2 anymore. And my view would be that we will then, if we break below $16, make a lower low compared to, here, actually lower than $13.76, the swing low of the 19th of June. So this is the level. All eyes need to be on that $16 level here. Going below that will invalidate this impulse. And then really we have to assume that what has happened here is really just a 3-wave move, basically an A, B, C. Yeah, and that we're then in an impulse to the downside, which would then very, very likely go below the $13.70 level. If we turn around here, yeah, or maybe anywhere between here and $16, then the target to the upside would be for the next wave up, which should be bullish, and we would then have to take out here the swing high at $22, but the target would be, let's assume the low is already here at around $18.50, then it should take us to 28.23, yeah, into this yellow target area. So basically back above the 88.7% fib level. And these are the key levels here for Avex that I'm currently watching. There are a few bullish signals in the chart. So if we take a look at the daily, we can see here the ADX is, or tried to cross bullish at least. It stopped, yeah, but they moved together. We then have seen here on the RSI, we have seen here bullish divergences. So basically making higher lows while we're making lower lows on the price chart here. That is a bullish divergence. We're also in the bullish, not in the bullish range, we're not above 50, but we had a bullish crossover. We moved above that yellow line on the RSI. So there's a few things that point here towards further upside, but the price action needs to replicate that, and it needs to ideally, it's got a good chance to turn around now. So turning around from here and then taking out the swing high at $22 will make it very likely that we reach here, first of all, the 50-day moving average in yellow at $25, and then also get above the 88.7% fib level at around $25.50. All right, and that is my view about Avex. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.